practice do that, I mean at home later. Alright, Kevin, so first and foremost, we're just memorizing the fingerings and C, not looking at the page unless you're literally in the first part where you're like, I'm showing myself the dance steps, and then don't look at the page immediately. Like, if you forget, look back to the page or whatever. So, like we were talking about, you're going to really get number 1 down, and that's going to consist of going, there exists this hand movement. That makes me think about pointing to there. And if you like, after you've memorized these, you can start on the root on the way up, and then come back down, hitting everything. But let's not emphasize that concept so much now. So then you're going to go, I'm learning number 2. And just, do this thing and go, boom. And do that until you feel like you got it down. And then you're going to go back and make sure you still know number 1. So then part 1 becomes, I know 1 and 2, including where the state capital each one is. Then you get add 3. You're just going to learn there exists this thing number 3, and I point here. And then, you see where this is going, but it bears repeating. Then you're just going to go, okay, I still know 1 and 2, and now I've added. So expanding on a thing that you're finishing as you go. And like I said during the lesson, that's how to approach everything, where it's things that are made of subsections that each one of them require learning on their own versus something that's so easy, like going just like that there, you don't really have to analyze it or group it anyway, you just go, I'm doing this. Cool, so and stop in your practice right now and just learn 1 through 7 like that in order. Having done that, now we're going to take the key step of still just staying within the key of C, but randomizing. So if you've just played number 1, so right now you totally know your C fingerings aside from brain farts. And if you notice there's ones that are sticking, like I forget 6 a lot, just go straight at that and be like, I'm gonna learn, alright, 6, 6, 6, and that's how to do that rather than hoping to get better at it. Not an intuitive thing to do necessarily. Cool, so then, so right now I can play all this stuff in C and I know where to point. Then you're going to start randomizing. You'll just be like, alright, you can roll a dice or have flashcards that say 1 through 7 or just call out a random number 1 through 7. And you're going to be going, alright, I'm going to play 1, I'm going to play 6. Just point is just solidifying each one as an independent concept where you're thinking about hand movement point. So stop, do that. Now if you want to start doing things like coming back up the patterns, this would be the time to start doing that. Cool. And maybe make a note, just 3 minutes, 3 minutes play and point. As at 3 minutes into your video here, we're, so stop your video, learn the key of C, however long it takes. I just want to re-emphasize, just break it into sections and finish as you go. There's no reason to be playing fingering 4 unless you know the first 3. That doesn't mean you won't forget and have a brain fart or whatever, but anyway, that's how to do this. So hey, play and point. This is how we're going to crack the entire code, and just all of a sudden you're just going to be able to play any scale at any fret after you interact with it for 90 minutes or whatever, from the perspective of already knowing the 7 fingerings as opposed to having to reason it out or whatever. So you're going to hang out at some fret, for instance, the 2nd fret. And that means stuff starting with index reaches to there, and things that are literally here at the 2nd fret. And you're just now you're going to be going in sequence again, going, I am playing fingering number 1, just thinking about the fingering. I'm in C. Oh yeah, that's where I learned that one. Duh. Now just playing at the same fret, the number 2 fingering, just thinking about the hand movement. And going, I'm in B flat. And if you want to go, you'd be like, oh yeah, look, I am hitting it right now on sharps and flats. Then you're going to play number 3, just thinking about the hand movement where you learned it in C. And go, I just played the A major scale, and if you look at what notes you're playing or go, it actually works. Again, we're setting up a how do I play it system, and then how do I understand it in music theory land is the second thing. Then you're going to play number 4, which is the one you've been playing since whenever, where the root's there, Just going, I think number 4 exists. I'm playing the G major scale. So again, just let me go back over this, just like there being 4 of them. I just played 1, just thinking about the hand movement. I'm playing in C. I played number 2, just thinking about the hand movement. I'm playing in B flat. I played number 3, just thinking about the hand movement. I'm playing an A. So if I move this to some other fret, it still goes. I'm playing the first fingering, just thinking about the hand movement. I'm in E in this case. And if you look, you are in fact playing the E major scale. I'm playing the number 2 fingering, just thinking about the hand movement. I'm in D. Oh yeah, that makes sense. 2 frets up from where I learned it. Look, it worked. I'm playing number 3, just thinking about the hand movement. I'm in C sharp. Oh yeah, that makes sense. It's just 1 fret up from where I learned it. But either way, it's just I play, I point, I play, I point. And there's only so many times of going, I'm playing number 3. Then it makes me think about pointing there. Before that flips itself from I'm at the 2nd fret playing number 3, where you're going to turn out to be playing an A. Before that just becomes, wait, I just want to play an A here? Just play number, totally, yes, it all goes like that. It's all the exact same concept as, how do I play in G here? There's G. It makes me think of a hand movement. They're all the exact same concept as that. We're just not always orienting on the bass string with our index or middle finger. We just have different jumping off points. But that's how it's going to be applied in the larger context. This time you're looking to just be able to go, number 1 exists, boom. Number 2 exists, boom. And you're going to just stop and do that, for sure, relying on doing them in order at several frets, and you ask which frets, just do something in this part of the fretboard, something in the middle, that's fine. And somewhere where note name recall is a non-issue, not up at the 15th fret or something. So now you're at a spot where you're just going, I'm playing 1, I'm in this key, I'm playing 2, I'm in that key, just, but it really is just thinking about the thing you learned in C, playing, pointing. So now you're going to take the same approach that you did to memorizing the fingerings initially, which is, we've been doing play and point sequentially, going 1, followed by 2, followed by 3. So now you're going to just go, alright, 1, I'm in this, 7, just calling out random numbers. And again, you'll already have done that when you were memorizing them in C, so now we're just doing that positionally, switching between different keys. Instead of going number 1, followed by number 2, followed by number 3, you're just going, alright, what about 6? And play the hand movement, point to the root. That's something you're only going to undertake having done it in sequence a whole bunch of times. So yeah, this is us going play, I'm in this key, play, I'm in this key, which is going to transform into, I want to play an A, there's A, I'm going to play number 3. Which would be the same thing if I was here and I was like, I need to play in B, there's B, I'm going to play number 3, which is the one we learned here at the 3rd fret. Anyway, so it's only not knowing the 7 fingerings like lickety-split that's making any of this seem like a complex concept. It really just goes play, point, the exact same spot that you did in C, and then it's going to become Cirque des Epiphanies. Cool.